In this video, we're going to take a look at the Chamber of Commerce Southern Boone County website. So we'll start by getting logged in. So you'll just add /wp-admin to the end of the URL and it'll take you to a login screen. Here you'll put in your username and password that you've been given. If you need us to reset those or get those to anyone new, just let us know and we can take care of that. So from here, I'm going to walk you through everything in this dashboard that's in use that controls your site. We'll skip over a few things, but we'll mostly just be looking over here. These items aren't as much of importance as the stuff in the dashboard here. These are your plugins that are making the site function. So I just like to mention that updates is just where your WordPress theme and plugin updates are available to you. We do actually update these regularly for all of our clients. So if you never want to worry about these, that's fine. We regularly take care of this, but I like to just point that out. Under posts, this is where you have your member spotlight. So this is kind of like a blog function, and I'm going to go ahead and open up another tab just so we can see it from the user side as well. So if you go to member spotlight here, you'll see the archive and then the post here. So all this is styled. You don't have to worry about any of that. You'll just have to add the content as you would like. So under posts, we'll just look at one that's here, Lloyd's Family Farm. So we'll click on it and just see what it looks like. So we've got the title up here. We've got the copy in here, images added, and then a featured image goes down here. So basically, just this works similarly to Word, Microsoft Word, or any sort of word processor. And you'll just want to make sure it's categorized over here as member spotlight. So let's say you wanted to add a new post. You'll go to add new here, or you can click it here. It's going to bring up just a blank field like what we saw on the last page. So you'll add that title. It'll auto-populate a link here, but you can actually edit this to be whatever you want it to be. Then you'll type in, or you can copy and paste from wherever else you would like, content right here. So from here, I can change the size of this copy. I can bold, italicize, bullet number. I can align it to the left, center, or right. I can hyperlink the text. I can type in any URL, or I can find a URL that's already on the site here. And yeah, so that's basically how that works. You can definitely add copy from a Word document and just paste it in here if that's easier, or you can just type it right here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this this hyperlink so that I can kind of work with the copy a little bit more. And if you want to add images, you'll just click Add Media here, and you can either choose something that's already here or click Upload, and then drag and drop your files here and add your image. And once the image is added, you can then align it to the center, left, or right, however you'd like. You can click that little pencil and it's going to take you to this screen where you can change the size. You can also edit the image and crop it, rotate it. You can do any of that through the site if you need to. You'll just make sure you click save anytime you make changes. And again, we want to make sure it's categorized as member spotlight, and we'll want to make sure that the featured image is set to the logo or whatever we want it to be. I'll click publish and it's going to show up on this page here. So there you go. So I am going to go ahead and delete this. So we'll click move to trash because we don't want that on your site. That was just for a test. But I'll draw your attention here to see that under trash, it's going to be located right here so that you can still restore it if you want, if that was done on accident. But we'll just go ahead and delete permanently because we don't want that. It was just for the sake of testing that out. So we'll move on down to events. Under events, this is where all of your events are located. So this is pretty intuitive. You'll just click on the event and you'll give it a title similarly to what we had on the last screen. And you can see the permalink is here. If I click edit, it's going to have the /event in front of it, but you can change what comes after that. And anytime you make changes, you'll just want to make sure you click update. You can make it an all-day event with no start and end time, or you can just give it no end time. And if this is deselected, then you can add a start and end time. So you can see how that changes. You select a date. You're already in the right time zone. You can add any or as few details as you want. All of this can be filled in. Right now, I think we just have the title and the timing. And then these are categorized, I believe, as, let me make sure. We just want to decide if they are a chamber or an SEDC event. So that way they'll show up on the appropriate calendar. So again, if you want to click add new, you'll click add new here or add new here. You'll give it a title. You can write any details you want here. You can edit and adjust any of this. You can make it an all-day event. You can give it no end time so that you only do a start time. And then you'll just want to make sure it's categorized correctly. I think that should be SBEDC. Yeah, so that's the category it should be. So again, you'll just click publish once you're ready to publish your event, and that should take care of events for you. Moving on down, we'll look at media. This is just where your images are located, as well as any PDFs if those are ever uploaded to the site, which you have a few here. So if I want to add new, I'll just click add new here or here, drag my files, or I can click select files. If I click on any individual file, there's a few things here you can see. If you click edit image, again, you have that option to rotate it, crop it, change the scale of it. You'll just click save if you make any of those changes. And you can also get the link for this image. So every image and every file has a URL. So if I paste this here, you'll see it's just the image. It's more important for PDFs. Sometimes that might be helpful if you just want to grab the URL for a PDF to give to somebody. It's helpful to know that that's where it is, and that's how you would hyperlink a PDF into a Word document if you needed to do that. But you always have the option to find media on the page you're working in. You don't usually need to come to this actual media library, but I just wanted you to see where that was at. And that's mostly it for media. Same idea, you can delete things through here, though these are not saved. Once you delete them, they are deleted permanently, but occasionally you'll need to delete things. We'll move on down to forms. Under forms, we've got a few different forms on this site. So you've got two different contact forms, so let's go ahead and click on those. These are pretty straightforward. It looks like just name, email, and message for these. Let me see if this is the same one. Yeah, so just name, email, and message. If you want to edit these and change these out, let's see. Yeah, here we go. So if you want to add additional fields here, you can just by dragging them wherever you want them to go. Once you add a field, if you want to edit it, you'll select it, and then you'll see this tab here that says field settings. You can change the field label to be anything you want it to be. And you can change the appearance if you want to. I don't foresee you needing to do that, but again, if you need to add any fields, these can be dragged and rearranged. These can be duplicated. This will take you to the settings, or you can delete a field. So same will go for both of those forms. Then if you want to look at the form entries, you can click entries here, or if you go back to that main page with the form labels, you can find entries here. Under settings, for each form, you've got a confirmation and notification that's important. So under notification, this is who's receiving those notifications when the forms go through. So it looks like this is the admin email. You can see it's the send to email. And then the from email just needs to be from your domain. We typically just put no reply in front and send it from that. It doesn't have to be a real email. It just has to come from your domain. Otherwise, sometimes there's issues with forms actually getting through, and it'll warn you if you create a new form. I read PayPal. If you create a new form, it will warn you that it needs to come from your domain. So you'll have that there. Under confirmations, this is just what pops up when somebody fills out a form. So this can also be edited. And it's edited the same way you would edit a page or a post, just kind of like that word processor functioning that we've seen before. And as always, you'll just want to make sure you save if you make any changes. Then the other form that we created for you was this application for membership. It's a little bit more complicated just because we have some conditional logic at play, meaning that the fields populate based on what is selected. So if it's a first-time application, you want to know what type of membership. If it's a renewal, you want to know what type of membership. And then these will populate different fields, because if it's first time, you've got to add more fields here. So you can see how that changes a little bit. And then whether you click paying online or mailing by check will decide whether or not this form takes you to PayPal. So the rest of the principles are the same. If you want to add additional fields to this form, you just select them from over here, standard or advanced fields, and you can drag and put these wherever you want. And you can rearrange these. And yeah, so if you have other things you want people to sign up for, that can be an option. I doubt you'll have anything else quite as complex as this form, but if you do need to change like the pricing, so let's say I want to change the pricing on this membership type if it goes up for year by year and you need to adjust that, I just come over here and I change the price out over here. Same for this field as well. And if you need to add additional fields, you can just add or subtract them through here. And again, if you select it, you can change the labels on any of the forms, all those kinds of things. So again, entries are here, settings to see who the forms go to. You can see notifications, confirmations, you can give, you can adjust that in the same way. So if you run into any questions about this form or you need a more complex form, we can help get you to the place that you need to be. But I think those are the main edits that you would make to a form. And once you get in there and start making a new form, you'll find that it's pretty intuitive. So we'll move down to pages. This is going to be what's on your home page as well as any of your internal pages. So all pages are located here. Some are categorized, you can see, as whether or not they're a part of the Chamber site or the Economic Developmental Council site. So those pages have categories, just like the other items we showed you with categories. So this is our home page. You can tell because it says front page down here. It also says home page. So once you get in here, you'll notice that each section of the home page has this little drop down. And these are what are going to control the different sections of the home page. So you can see that here. This is a section, this is a section, this is a section, so on and so forth. You can kind of see the natural break. So each of those sections is going to be edited through these sections here. So on the first part, we have a slider. And anytime you see shortcode here, you'll know that this is just populating something that was done somewhere else over here. So for the slider, that's going to be actually edited through Slider Revolution. So we're going to skip over that for now. I believe everything is edited through the slider, so we don't have to edit anything here. On the next section, we have all this copy here. So again, this is going to work basically the same way of all the other things we've seen so far. The only other new item here to note is that these are hyperlinked, but they're also formatted as buttons, and that's done through formats. And that's how we get those two nice buttons here. So the copy can be edited, the links can be edited, the buttons can be edited, any of that can be changed out or edited. And then for this particular page group, so on this group, the background is going to have this image in the back and a little bit of a color overlay over the top of the image. So you can see that right here, and that can be edited through here as well. If you ever want to change out that image, you would just click this pencil or this X and it will take you to the media library. I'm not going to edit it, but it will take you to the media library where you can adjust those and change those out. Moving on down, we have this section. Again, the photo was just edited through Add Media. You can adjust it and align it differently. You can change the size of it. You can edit any of this copy here. You can add an additional button if you would like. So that's this section. Next section is going to have that shortcode again. So these are actually going to be edited through homepage buttons, which are located over here. So we won't actually edit them right here, but again, you'll see that there's a tab here, and I've got my image in my background, and I've got this color overlay. So you can see the color can be changed. I can change the opacity of the color. I can copy and paste this color code, use it elsewhere if I'd like. Moving on down, upcoming events. This is going to pull from the calendar. And you can click see full calendar. This is a button. You can edit any of this that you would like, but again, the events are actually edited where we showed you earlier. In the Facebook feed, same idea. This is actually just set up to work through this Facebook feed plugin, and we put the short code here. Nothing needs to be edited. And that's done twice, and we've got a background color here. So that's how those have these different colors, and you'll find this in the footer of every page. So this will not be edited through the home page, and neither will the header. This will come up later, but that's how you edit the stuff on the home page. That's the copy. I think I wanted to look through some of the other pages just to be sure we understand how everything else works. Let me see what else we've got here. There's our calendar, job board. Yeah, so this is just going to be one singular page section on About Us. And that'll pretty much take care of the pages. That's kind of how the pages work. Let me just go to the About Us page really quick, and I'll show you how to add additional page sections. So if you want to add another page section, let's say you've got all this copy here, but you want to add another little section, you just do that through add a page section here. And I can type anything I want. I can make it whatever size I want. I'm going to hyperlink it just to show you how that works. I'm going to center that as well. Format it as a button. And I think I'd like to make the background, I'd like to have it with a picture in the back. So I'll choose, let's do this one. Oh, it's pretty small. That's a pretty small image. So for background photos, you want it to be a larger image, kind of something more like that. And I want to do a background color. So let's see. Let's pick something more interesting, and we'll give it a little bit of opacity, and let's see what that looks like. Probably not very good, but this is just for the purpose of showing you how to do it. My internet's going a little slow, so it hasn't updated yet. There we go. Let's see if it'll show up now. There we go. So obviously does not look good. So that's why I keep two tabs open. Now I can go back. Let me see. What can we do to make this look better? Maybe a different color, like maybe something more in the gray realm would work. So, you know, lighter gray, and maybe, yeah, let's try that and see how that looks like. Okay. And you can see that looks a lot better. And there's your button. You can also make these page sections 50%. So you can see it says 100% here. I can make these 50% sections. Then I would just make an additional page section that was also 50%. And I also want to show you that you can make this text white if you want. That way you don't just make it white and you can't read what you're working with, but you can see it's done under formats there. And let's give it a dark color background so that we can see what white text looks like on top of that. And again, it's a 50% section. My internet is going quite slow. Did it update? I think so. There we go. You can see it there. And so that's how you would add additional sections to any of these internal pages. They all work pretty much the same. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these sections. And again, all you have to do is click remove row. And again, this is the other one we don't want. I'll click remove row. And I'm going to click update so that this is no longer there. And again, On these pages, you'll just want to make sure that they're categorized correctly for which pages they're supposed to appear on. That's just to keep yourself organized and so that you know which pages go where. I want to take a quick look at the gallery page, the photos, just so you can see how to add and edit photo galleries on the site. Again, pretty intuitive. Once you get in here, you can see all these images are in the gallery. And you can see that each gallery is its own page section. So each one of these sections has the little title and a gallery. So if I want to edit any of the photos in these galleries, I'll just click on this and click this pencil, which always means edit. I can caption these images if I want, but if you only caption some and not all, it will make them not look uniform anymore. I can drag and rearrange these however I want. You can delete them, you can add to the gallery, and then you can also change the columns or the size of the images if you want to. I don't know that you're going to want to do that since they're all looking uniform. And then I'll just click Update Gallery when I make changes, and you'll also have to click Update over here. So let's say you wanted to add a new page section with a new event. Just want to make sure you make it look like the others, which was heading 2, want it to be centered, and then I'm going to click Add Media. From here, create gallery, and it's going to let you select as many things as you want. Create new gallery. I want these to be 5 columns like the other ones, medium sized, and I want them to link to the media file. So when you click on it, it opens the media file for you. And then again, let's see here. These just have a gray alternating background so that it kind of separates them a little bit. So if I want to do that, just need to find one that has the gray in the background, and I can copy and paste this color code and use it again. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this. We don't want to save that. Oops, yes, remove. That's pretty much how you edit the internal pages on the site. Of course, if you run into questions, just let us know, but we'll keep moving on down. Comments, I don't think they're in use. If they are, we can probably just get rid of them so that people can't comment on any posts or pages. We can skip over this. We're not using that. Let's see if we're using Foo Gallery. I don't think that we are. No, we're using those other galleries I showed you. So those are actually edited within the page, and they can be added anywhere you would like. Under member directory, this is where you're going to add the members and the members for your list here. Again, this is going to appear pretty intuitive, and you'll just fill in the blanks as needed. So logo, website link, contact names, contact email 1 and 2, zip code, address, name, and you can add a business category here. Again, you'll click add new here or add new here, and then you'll just fill in the blanks as needed, and they should appear in alphabetical order without you adjusting them at all. If I come back to all members, I can delete them by clicking trash. I can make them a draft if I would prefer. If I want to quick edit, I can make it a draft so that it doesn't show up if we want to bring it back later, and just click update. And that's pretty much it for member directory. Same goes for board members. This is going to look pretty similar. If I click on one of these items, I'm just going to fill in the name, going to fill in my information here, an image if I want, and the title here. So it's going to work pretty much the same way as this one. You just fill in the appropriate information. I can make them drafts, I can delete them, and I can add new. And once I click add new, it's going to have all the same fields, just blank. So pretty intuitive, pretty self-explanatory there. Under job listings, this is going to be a similar idea. Very much you click it and fill in the blanks. So if I click on this job, I've got my title of my job. We've got job types. I've got this written explanation of the job, and then these different fill in the blanks that I want to use here. And then I'll just click publish, and it will show up. And again, they'll show up in the order, they should be alphabetical, and then they'll expire on this particular date, and they won't show up on the page anymore. So that should take care of that for you. Under homepage buttons, this is going to be those 3 buttons that are located right here. Again, going to look very, very similar. Where you fill in the blanks, give it a title. We'll put our copy here, and then again, we've formatted this as a button and hyperlinked it. And for this one, it's important that it is categorized because this is going to appear only on the home page, and then we have buttons that are going to appear on the Economic Council page, and we'll go over all of that shortly. So, and then a link to where the whole section is going to link to. So again, if you want to add additional ones, you can add new, or you can just keep those 3. If you add 4, I think it should make them fit, but it might send them on down to a second row. So then these are going to be the 3 that are featured on the Economic Council page. And so we'll come back to them in a moment, but it's the same idea. You can edit those by filling in the blanks, and each of the field editors is going to look similar to pages, posts. It all looks the same. So you have the same options, and you just add that image through clicking Add Media. Format this as a button, hyperlink it, and link the square, and it will automatically populate on the site, and the change will occur on the actual page. So if you edit it here, that'll take care of it. So WP Bruiser is something we have installed on your site to keep spam out of your forms. Nothing you need to edit or worry about here. Genesis is your theme. Nothing we need to talk about here. Appearance, there's 2 items we want to talk about, and that's widgets and menus. Under widgets, this is going to be the header and footer of your site. And since you have 2 separate headers and footers depending on where you're clicking on, this is going to be important to remember. So we'll edit the menus through menus down here, but the widgets are going to control what actually shows up. So this image is your header, and it links to this page. Then we have a second image, and it links to this page. So what you need to note here is that if you create a new page, it's going to show up automatically with this header or this logo. If you want it to be a page that is going to show up on the Economic Council side of things and not over here, then what you'll need to do is click on this one, and you're going to want to click, so it says show unchecked pages, post types, and you're going to need to find the appropriate page and make sure that this header is selected. So whatever page it is that you just created is going to need to have this logo. If you click hide unchecked pages on the one that you want to hide it on, then you go to post types and hide it on all the pages that you want to hide it on. So for instance, anything that's going to be Economic Council, you're going to make sure it's selected for show unchecked pages here. And it's going to be hide unchecked pages here because you want to hide this on the page that you're checking. And you want this to show on the page that you're checking, and vice versa. So the same is going to be true when we scroll down to navigation menu. So on this navigation menu, main menu, that's going to be the Chamber of Commerce menu. You're going to want to hide it on certain pages and show it on certain pages. So if you want to hide it, go to post types and find the pages where you don't want that menu to show. Same for main menu 2. This is going to be the Economic Council, and you're going to want to, what pages is it going to show on? So if you create a new page, all you have to do is find, and if it's for just the Chamber of Commerce side of things, then it's going to show up. It's going to show up there automatically. The only time you'll need to go through this is if you're adding a page to the Economic Council, because you're going to want to show that menu on the Economic Council page, and you're going to want to hide the chamber menu on that page and the logo. So if that gets confusing and you can't figure it out and something's not working, just let us know. But I wanted you to see how that was done just so you had that as a tool in your toolbox. In the footer, same idea. Here we've got, I believe the footer is the same on every page. So in the visual editor, you'll see it's the same type of editor that we've been using, and this can be edited however you like. This is a hyperlink, or I believe they're buttons. And same here. Quick links. So if you make any changes, just be sure you click save down here. So we'll move on down to menus just so I can show you. This is also going to be under appearance, just so I can show you how to edit these menus. So we have the main menu, and then we have main menu 2, which is going to be the Economic Council. So they'll work the same way, but this is just to show you how to make edits. So basically anything here can be dragged and rearranged. Anything can be made a submenu item. If you click on it, the navigation label can be changed. The URL can change out here. Again, the navigation label can change. If you create a new page, it's going to show up right here, but if you can't find it, you can just click search and search for it. Or you can always add your link as a custom link and just paste the URL for the page you just created here and give it a label. If you start to add many more menu items up here, it's going to get kind of crammed and things aren't going to fit. So I would suggest just sticking with these about 7 items that you have here and not going beyond that, or it is going to get a little hairy. But you can make anything sub-menu items and put something underneath something else. So the same idea goes here. Main menu 2, we want to select that. And any of these can be changed, reordered, dragged, given a different title, etc. And you just click save menu when you make any changes there. And then for the social menu, I don't know if this is in use. I don't think it is. I don't think we have a... Let's see. I don't think we're using that one, so we'll just move past that one. Plugins. This is what's used to make your site. If you want to add additional plugins and want to try to find other ways to utilize plugins, you're more than welcome to add things, edit things. If you run into questions, just let us know. Under users, we've got your admin account located here. This is where you'll edit your password. So if I click on this, it's going to take me to your admin account and allow me to change the password. If I click on it while logged in right now on this video, it is going to show the megaphone password. So I'm not going to walk through how to do it, but it is pretty intuitive. If you want to add any additional admins, all you have to do is click add new. You just have to have an email for the person. You can use whatever username you want. You can use any email you want, but I would recommend getting an actual email for someone, and then you just change or select the role to be admin, and that person can log in at southernboonechamber.com/wp-admin the same way that you can. And again, this is where you'll edit your password. As we move on down, I'm going to skip over a few of these things because they're not really something you're going to edit. They're kind of just things that make the site run that we don't really need to talk about. We will talk about Easy Accordion Pro. This is in use in one place on your site for the meeting minutes. So this is a really awesome way to utilize collapsible and decollapsible fields. So you can see how these collapse and decollapse. So you can see your little items here. You can see it's working just the same way that it worked on the front end. And if I want to duplicate them, this would be my option. If I want to delete this, if I want to drag these around, if I want to add a new item, it's going to let me add a new item. I title it, and then I add my minutes here. So here you can see, again, this is just using the same type of editor we've been using. If you want to add additional minutes, you would just hit enter and type whatever you need. And then hyperlink, you would add your PDF, grab that link I was talking about earlier, And then you can click paste here, or you can go here, hyperlink, paste. And then you'll want to just make sure you click update if you make any changes. And of course, we don't actually want to keep that change, but that's how that works. And of course, you can add additional accordions. So if I go back to accordion groups, you can make another accordion and use the same idea anywhere. You just would copy and paste this shortcode wherever for the new accordion that you create. So that's definitely an option. I don't know if you have a map anywhere. I don't think we do at this time. I think that's just on the site, but we're not using that at the moment. Yeah, so we'll keep moving on down. Like I said, Facebook feed is set up. You don't have to do anything there. The next thing I want to talk about is slider revolution. So this is what's creating that slider at the top of the homepage for the Chamber of Commerce homepage. So it's just images. So the only thing you would need to edit here are these images. So I'm going to show you how to update those so that you can change them out as needed. So I'll just click on that pencil here and edit this slider. And here's my image. So basically, this is technically the background of this particular slide. So each of these is a slide, and each of these is the background on the slide. So I'm going to go over here to slide options. I'm going to slide down to source and media library, and that's where it's going to let me select a new image to put there. And I'm going to click insert. And if I want to save this change, I'll click save. I don't want to make that change, so I'm going to undo that. Under slides, if I want to just delete a whole slide, I can click delete. If I want to make it invisible, I can click this. If I want to duplicate it, I can just click duplicate, and then I'll have another slide so that I can add additional pictures if you want to add more pictures to the homepage. So I've duplicated this slide, and it's all the way at the bottom here. And so now I can add my new picture under slide options, media library. I can upload my new images and click insert. If I do bulk slide here like this, I can click bulk slide and add a bunch at a time. So I would just select what I wanted as my bulk slide options. I believe if you click bulk slide and hold shift while you select these, it'll let you add them all at once. So if you upload a bunch of pictures at a time, you can do that. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this slide because it was a duplicated one and we don't need it. So that's how you would update these images. And again, just click save and nothing else needs to be done. Pretty easy there. The only other thing that I think we want to talk about is how to edit the homepage for the Economic Council. So it's going to work very similarly to what we saw for the homepage for the other internal pages, but I just wanted to make sure that we talked about it just so that you were clear. Same idea where you can add page sections, you can add multiple page sections, and these were edited under homepage buttons, and you just want to make sure that you edit those buttons through homepage buttons and that you select the appropriate category. And then there we go, here it is. So same idea here as, like I said, for the homepage. So this section, the top part is a featured image, and we just have this copy here. So if you ever want to change that out, it can be changed out here. A little counterintuitive, it's at the very bottom. So we're not using the slider on this one. The copy is located here. And then these are the homepage buttons again that are edited through homepage buttons. And the background is an image with that color overlay. So again, you'll go to background. Oops, that's the wrong one. Background. There's an image I can change out by clicking either of those items. And then here's my color that's over the top. And again, you can copy and paste this color code and use it anywhere you'd like. And again, the footer content is the same on every site, so you don't actually have to. If you edit it anywhere, it will edit it everywhere. And again, that was done under widgets or appearance widgets. And I think that takes you through pretty much everything. Of course, if you run into any questions or issues and there's something you can't figure out, please reach out and we would be happy to help. But this should get you started and help you make all the edits that you need to make to keep your site updated.